Welcome, my name is Bruce Mounsey and I am sitting in the middle of this historical cemetery in the town of Morrinsville, New Zealand. And for several weeks now I've been thinking about funerals, and I've attended several funerals over the last year. Sometimes wonderful celebrations of a life fully lived, other times a deep sadness of a young life cut short and potential not fulfilled. And I've been wondering, what would Jesus say if he attended our funerals in person? What comforting, challenging, insightful words would he bring to us? And so I've thought about that, and there's 5 seed truths that I'd like to share with you very briefly. They're just seed thoughts over the next 10 minutes. And the first thing he'd say to us, don't forget me. Don't forget me. We all have faith. We all have faith. And we need to put that faith in the right person, in him. But we all have faith. And that faith can grow or it can die. Can grow or it can die. That faith can live or it can shrivel up. And so, don't forget me, he would say. Now, we don't plan to forget him. Other priorities and challenges of life come along, and faith can begin to fade without us intending to. It can fade and it can die. But even if our faith is dying or is dead, it can be resurrected. And so he would remind us, don't forget me. The second thing he would say is, trust me. This is the most challenging one. Trust me with the mysteries of life and death. Trust me with the mysteries of life and death. There's pain, there's suffering, there's tragedy, there's death. And when those things happen around us or to close friends or family, we ask the inevitable question, why? Why did it happen? Why do bad things happen to good people? And we look to the God of heaven, and the heavens are silent. And in the silence, he would say to us, trust me. Bruce, trust me. There's a more important question than the why, which we wrestle with. And it's the what question. What will I now do with the life that lies before me? What will I now do with the future? We get stuck sometimes on the why, but it's the what that is now the most important question. What will I now do with the future? The why deals with the past, but the what deals with the future and what lies before us. So he would encourage us, trust me with the why and the what of life. Thirdly, he would remind us that very gently that life is fragile. Life is fragile. We all think we've got more time. We all think it'll happen to somebody else, but not to me. Some of us may not be here in a year's time. We think we're in control, but we're not. This body of mine, it's temporary. This journey of mine, I'm just passing through with a temporary body. And even though this life is fragile and it's temporary in one sense, he would say, don't live in fear of what might happen. Live this fragile life to the full. Be careful with each other. Be careful with yourself. Even though life is fragile, live it to the full. Fourthly, he would say to us, encourage us, be at peace. Be at peace. Be at peace with God. Be at peace with yourself. And be at peace with those people around you. If we're not at peace, We can be at war. We need to forgive God because we hold Him responsible for what has happened. Some of the tragedies of life, the mysteries of life, we hold Him responsible. We need to forgive ourselves for our mistakes, for our failures, for our blame, our shame that we put upon ourselves. Forgive ourselves. And we need to forgive those people who live around us. We hurt each other. It's not intentional, but we do. We hurt each other. And so he would say forgiveness. Forgiveness wins the war that rages inside us sometimes. Forgiveness ends the war. Forgiveness, not fighting, brings peace within. So he would say, make peace. Be at peace. And finally, a message of hope. And the message of hope is that death is not the end, it's the beginning. Death is not the end, it's the beginning. It's the birthing and the beginning of a whole new life. It's the start of a new story. Death is the doorway into the next life. Death is the destination for all of us. It's inevitable. It's inescapable, the doorway of death. But it's the doorway into the next life. Death does not have the final say in this drama of life. Jesus said these words, I am the resurrection and the life. I am the resurrection and the life. Do you believe this? Do you believe this? And I believe absolutely that Jesus is the resurrection and the life, and that death is the doorway into the next life. And so the next funeral you go to, and hopefully not your own, but the next funeral you go to, and in the silence and in the quietness as you reflect upon the life that has left you, your friend or loved one, that in the quietness you might hear the whisper of the Master into your heart with these 5 seed truths. Don't forget me. Don't let your faith die. And trust me with the mystery of life and death, with the whys and the whats of life. And gently, life is fragile. You don't know how long we've got, or you've got. And be at peace with God, with yourself, and with others. Be at peace. Forgiveness wins the war. Forgiveness ends the war. Finally, hope. Death is not the end. It's just the beginning. It's the doorway into the next life. Take care. And God bless you as you continue to live this life on earth.